What made you hire a black offensive coordinator and a black defensive coordinator on your coaching staff?
Yeah, I was also assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. We're all African American.
That's
Now,
right.
they're just the best dudes I knew. I mean, those are my guys. And I've been around. I've coached a long time, and Harold Goodwin was with me for forever. He was my assistant head coach. Todd Bowles played for me at Temple. Byron Leftwich, I coached in Pittsburgh. Keith Armstrong, another captain of mine at Temple. Now, women, when I opened the door for women, that was on purpose. That door needed to be opened. And very, very proud to have hired the first woman in the NFL. And then we had two on our staff here at Tampa Bay. They were just the best guys I knew. The women, that was on purpose.
What's going on out there, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Life After Sports with Greg Vaughn and James Harris. We have a very special guest today, a guy that I really, really respect, a guy that gave me an opportunity when I was a very, very young man coming out of East St. Louis, a tough city, and he saw enough in me to come and get me out of East St. Louis and give me an opportunity to get an education and play football. Life has a beginning and an end. And I would say my manhood begins with Super Bowl winning coach, Mr. Bad Man, Bruce Arians. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing great, James. How you doing, baby?
Man, I'm feeling really good, man. Me and my buddy here, oh man, we've been having a great time doing this podcast. I wanted you to come on because I wanted you to talk about your life as a coach, going into inner cities, getting young men like myself and giving them opportunities, and also continue staying with those guys as long as you do, because me, myself, see the guys that you had on your sideline as a head coach in Tampa. Can you talk to our audience and explain to them and talk to them about the things that you felt when you went into an inner city and talk to their moms and their fathers, and the way that you kept those guys close to you after they graduated from college?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same for me. I was an inner city kid. I actually got kicked out of high school, and everybody that was recruiting me dropped me except one man, John Devlin. If you remember, I hired Coach Devlin as assistant head coach at Temple.
Yes.
That was my best pay it forward moment I ever had. And but those kids, that was natural for me, to inner city kids is who I related to. It was a little bit different when I had to go into the country, but I had those southern years of being in the country recruiting. So it was. But those guys are so special, man. That Temple group, I think 30 or 40 of those guys are friends on Facebook with my wife, and I've got about 15, but I think 20 of them came down 2 years ago in May. Just no football games, just to come down because we have so many Temple alums on our staff. Todd Bowles, Todd McNair, Kevin Ross, Nick Rapone, Keith Armstrong, Clive Christensen, guys that coach with Amos Jones. I mean, that's family. And when you play for me, it's family for life.
You know what, Coach? I think that air is lost, though. You know what I mean? Because I was, one of those guys too. You grew up in the inner city, and your word, it was a bond. You know what I mean? And I remember coaches coming into the living room and telling my mother and promising that they were going to look after me. And this is my first time. I know of you, big admirer of you. I love the style, I love the hat. It just depends on what color gear you got on. You know what I mean? So, but I mean that's something about the man. You know what I mean? Because in retrospect, football is, or baseball or sport is a avenue to us to, not necessarily make it to the league, but better our lives and get an education. But it's people like you guys, that touch so many people that look like me and James. You know what I mean? Because our village was shaped with all types of different people and colors, and I applaud you for doing that, because nowadays, every other month somebody's going somewhere else. The coach is leaving after he brings in a class, and I understand they have to take care of their family, but they also made promises to moms. You know what I mean, that their baby was going to be okay. So I admire you for doing that and defining that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought that was an obligation that I had to the moms and dads, grandmas, whoever it was that was raising that child, to make sure they got that education. Football was secondary, you know. They were going to get that education. I was making sure they went to class. And if they didn't go to class, they were going great shape because I would run the shit out of them every morning.
Yes, you did. And another thing that you was a pioneer to is you was the first coach in the NFL that I can remember to have a black offensive coordinator and a black defensive coordinator. When everybody was hollering about diversity, you had already started it. Actually, you started it at Temple, and nobody paid attention to it. But once it got on TV, when you was the head coach and going to the Super Bowl, and people started paying attention to that, tell me what made you hire a black offensive coordinator and a black defensive coordinator on your Super Bowl team, not just your Super Bowl team, but on your coaching staff?
Yeah, I was also assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. We're all African American.
That's
now
right.
they're just the best dudes I knew. I mean, those are my guys, and I've been around. I've coached a long time, and Harold Goodwin was with me for forever. He was my assistant head coach. Todd Bowles played for me at Temple. Byron Leftwich, I coached in Pittsburgh. I had to get him off the couch and get him in the game, and he's just a tremendous coordinator. Keith Armstrong, another captain of mine at Temple, had been in the league for a while. And all those guys were available when I went to Temple. I probably wouldn't have taken the job if Byron wasn't available because I didn't want to call the plays anymore. I still would be the head coach. And now, women, when I opened the door for women, that was on purpose. That door needed to be opened. And very, very proud to have coached the first woman hired the first woman in the NFL, and then we had two on our staff here at at Tampa Bay. And so that was they were just the best guys I knew. The women, that was on purpose.
Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. But once again, I think it goes back to the testament of the man that you are. You know what I mean? Even diversity, you know, the I don't want to say civil rights, but the sort of the civil rights in evolving in sports, you know, with the whole Kaepernick and the George Floyds. You were never scared to say how you felt. You know what I mean? And, you know, you, Pop, Steve Kerr, there were certain coaches that didn't even touch that subject. But, you know, it's men like you that we really appreciate because, you know, sometimes, you know, our voice doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You know, it doesn't matter. But when people that, I don't want to say don't have skin in the game, but when people don't look like us and don't have to worry about their kids getting pulled over or certain things happening, it means a lot to have you guys, you know, represent that part of our lives because it is important to us. You know, we want this world to be a good place. I mean, everyone's important, but you know, it's not necessarily fair. And you know, and I appreciate you speaking up on that.
Well, you know, it's easy for me. My first coach ever was a black man. I was the minority on my 9-year-old football team, and they nicknamed me Whitey because my hair was white.
But you knew you were accepted after that, though. You know you were good.
Yes, yes, Coach he would kick you right in your ass when you didn't mess up, too, boy. And so I had this appreciation for him. I think everybody I ever looked up to when I was a young man was named Coach. You know, my dad was probably my best coach ever, but he worked 7 days a week in the factory. And so I didn't know those other guys' dads giving up their time. I just called him Coach, man. And I knew when I grew up, I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be a coach.
Okay. Hey, well, I got another question. I always wanted to ask you, what does risk it, no biscuit? No risk. What you call it? No risk, no biscuit, no biscuit, no risk.
No risk it, no biscuit. Man.
No risk it, no biscuit. Yeah, that's what you call it.
That's a way of life, man. You can't hit a home run if you don't swing. Like you play golf. You can't get there in two if you don't try. I'm not going to lay up.
Hey, I love that.
And that's the way when I call plays. Hey, you know, and Byron took over that. The greatest call I think I've ever seen was right before half in Green Bay in the NFC Championship. And we were going to punt. Hell with it. Let's go for it. And Byron called 81 go. And we hit Scotty Miller for a touchdown right before the half, and the game was over.
Yeah, that blowed it open.
That's it right there in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Coach, I mean, what are you occupying your time with now? You know, I mean, what's keeping you you know that drive and that fire going. I heard you talk about golf, but
Yeah.
let us know what's going on.
Well, last year I went to practice every day and went to the games, and then I got thrown off the field for that little incident down in New Orleans. So I wasn't going on the sidelines anymore. So I was around too much. This is Todd's team. I'm out of here. So I'm basically playing golf and playing with my grandsons and granddaughter and just having a blast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just to circle back, what was the mindset when the fallout you thought you might get from bringing a female into? I mean, we're talking about a barbaric sport. You know what I mean? And having her on that sideline and being around guys. What made you think of that?
Well, I'd seen it. When I was recruiting at Mississippi State back in the 90s, I'd go down to Hines Junior College, and Dot Murphy and her husband, Gene, was the head coach, and she was the receiver coach. She was a hell of a football coach. So I had already seen it. I knew it could happen. And when you think of football coaches, they're just teachers. I mean, glorified teachers. So what better teachers have you ever had than women?
Right.
I mean, not nuns, because they beat the shit out of you. But women teachers. So it's like, for me, Lori Locust, I hired Lori not even realizing she was at Temple with all the guys. She was Andy Locust's ex-wife. And Maral Jabba she's outstanding in the weight room and now head of rehabilitation for us. Jen Welter, Jen had played football, played with men, was on the Olympic team, was coaching arena ball. When I put that out there, her head coach reached out to me. I said, well, tell her to come up and let me meet her. And she was a bundle of energy, and still is. And so it was easy. I brought her in as an intern for the training camp, and then I was convinced it was fine. The guys, any football player, if you can tell them how you're gonna make them better, hey, I don't care what you look like. If you're gonna help me get better, I'm all in.
That's
I'm all in.
Yeah. So, hey, Coach, what do you think that like the old school player compared to what's the difference in the game when you first came in to where it's at now? That you see in the players, or we were talking about off camera, look at the analytics. I mean, what do you see in the game, and what do you like or don't like about it?
I don't like the portal, man, because we're teaching kids to quit. If it gets hard, you quit, and you go somewhere else. You don't stick it out and tough it out and wait for your turn. That upsets me. I love the NIL. I think the players should have got paid back in the 80s, but the portal to me is sending the wrong message. And I think the NCAA has to get to where they're just like the NFL. You get a contract and there's a salary cap and let's go. But that contract's binding. I might let you out of the contract, but you ain't transferring just because you got pissed off. And your dad's mad because you ain't playing enough.
Right.
Well, what about what kids would say about coaches getting up, leaving them right there in the middle of their scholarships?
Yeah, I think there's two things. Two ways. Coaches can only get a pay raise if they move. Most schools, they're going to keep giving you a little bit. When I was an assistant coach, I had to keep moving to get a raise. I stayed in contact with the guys I recruited. But for head coaches, man, there's so much money out there, just like the players now. But I don't fault those guys. I think there's sometimes the grass ain't always greener. It's green around that septic tank.
That's true.
And so there's a lot of guys wish they'd have stayed where they were.
No,
it ain't always better just because there's money.
I grew up coaching. My mother, my dad was a fireman, but my mother and my grandmother was tough. And my cousin, who I grew up with, lives down there in Tampa, so hopefully I'll see him in the golf with Ricky Reynolds, you know what I mean? So Ricky used to play for the Bucks. Same household, same everything. But, it's not greener. My grandmother, she used to say that to us at an early age. She said, you made it too close. You made it too close, so don't make it close. Separate yourself and play better. You don't like the situation you're in, or, you don't like this, do better. Play better, do better. You know what I mean? It was simple. There was no in between. Yeah. You know what? If you don't like it, put the hay in the barn so you can go get the hay. You know what I mean? I think,
I think too many times today, guys are told hey, if you come here, you're going to start as a freshman. You're going to be an All-American. And you get there, it was like, man, you're third string. I was just telling you that shit to get you here.
Just like, like buying a car. Like I said, if they, and when my kids were going through it, I used to say the same thing. I said, if a coach promised you a starting position, you might not want to go there, but it's going to be your choice.
Yep.
Because if he says he's going to give you the opportunity to start, or then now he's telling you the truth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you're not buying a car. You're not buying a car. You know what I mean? So, Coach, so what made you go into East St. Louis to go get Big James? You know what I mean? What made you?
I probably was the biggest quarterback you ever seen.
Yes, indeed. I was with Coach Garcia, and he told me about this guy. And he was a scout. I think he was scouting for maybe San Francisco back then. And so I checked him out and went and saw him play basketball. And then we made 6'8" quarterbacks running around and point guards.
And that's weird. I played point guard.
So it was like, now he wasn't the best player on that basketball team. There was a dude on that team that was pretty damn good.
Who, LaFonso? Hey, Coach, I would give him the blues.
But you beat him up in practice that day. That's
I beat him up.
And so I was like, I don't know if he could play quarterback, but this guy's a hell of an athlete. We're going to try him at quarterback for sure. And when you came in my office, I said, Coach, man, I don't know about this quarterback stuff. I think I might want to play. I might want to play tight end or receiver.
Hey, man, I didn't want to do that no more.
We'll try it, baby.
So you went to Temple as a quarterback?
Yeah, I went as a quarterback. Man, I could sling it, man. I could stand on the goal line.
How much money did you win that day when they bet you couldn't throw it 100 yards?
Oh, so much money. Hey, how much money did you win that day? Because he was the only person that knew I could do it. So everybody wanted to bet me, and they was like, "Oh, you gonna get a running start?" I stood flat-footed and threw it from one goal line to the other goal line.
And then they put you on the defensive line.
I got fired.
Hey,
he was playing on offense.
Hey, he got me fired. But hey, Coach, you did something that I came into the NFL looking to do, and that was to win and play in a Super Bowl. And I would love to know how did it feel? How did it feel to you to win a Super Bowl, and just that feeling? Can you give me that feeling and give our audience that feeling that you had when you won that Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that picture, but that's the best family hug we've ever had. That was on the 50-yard line after we won the Super Bowl. And as a coach, you dream about that Gatorade bath your whole life. You know, especially when you're a little kid, you're shooting hoops. This is for the win. I'm throwing a touchdown for the win. Well, that Gatorade bath was what, as a coach, I dreamt about. And when Vita hit me with that blue Gatorade, man, I was like, this is the greatest feeling in the world. And I didn't even wipe it off. I just let it drip all over me for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy because, as a kid, you just said something that I think resonates with our generation. We dreamed, you know what I mean? So we seen ourselves, we put ourselves in, those certain situations of hitting, my first World Series, my only World Series after 16 years, I hit 2 home runs in game 1. But when you're, and it takes you back to that childhood memory, you know what I mean? Even though you lost, and unfortunately, I played on some good teams and some bad teams, but I wasn't a Yankee. They were in the World Series every single year. They were, it's people don't understand how hard it is to get to that point. You know what I mean? Robin Yount said something to me when my rookie year. He said, "Man, enjoy it because it goes fast." And I was like, "Okay, I'm 21." I said, "Man, this is gonna be a lifetime." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
may never happen again.
And I look up at 39, retire. It only happened. It only happened once, and and that's people don't understand. I mean, that's what you play for. I mean, all the hard work and everything that you do is to not just for you and your family, but that city. You know what I mean? The city that that city. You see those people.
Ain't nothing like those parades. The parades are the greatest thing. Other than the Gatorade bath, man, the parade is it. And I've been fortunate enough to be in 3 of those parades. And the worst feeling is when you lose that game. Oh, my God.
Well, I can relate to you on that.
The confetti's coming down on their heads. So that's the worst feeling in the world. But those three parades in Pittsburgh, but nothing compared to this boat parade in Tampa, man. It was crazy. During COVID, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, you guys were just passing trophies all over the boats in that little canal right there. We went from hockey to football. You guys were just throwing it all over the place.
All over the place. Hey, Coach, if you had some advice to give to some of the young players that's coming up in the NFL right now, what would, if you had a chance to sit down with them, that's what I should say, what would you talk to them about? Or what would you think they should change?
I just say patience, man. It's not going to come easy at this level. I don't care how good you are. First round pick, last free agent. All right, you got to put it on the field. All right, you got to put it out on the field every single day. Because some man, not a teenager, a man is trying to get you a job and feed his family. All right, this is a man's game now. All right, it's not for kids anymore. You ain't going to class. All right, we're feeding families, and there's no bullshit. All right, in the meeting room, the classroom, you're here 8 hours a day just for football, and we would always bring 90 guys in just so we could cut 54, and so it's like when we had the first meeting in the Cardinals and the Bucks, I said, look, we ain't the Bucks right now. We're just 90 motherfuckers looking for a job. All right, we'll be the Bucks in September when we cut down to 55, and then we'll be the Bucks. Right now, get your ass out there and you get a job, whatever it takes. All right. Now we got to have practice etiquette and all the things. We don't hit our teammates and shit like that. But it's just, hey, let's go. I don't care how you got here. You're here. All right. Here's your opportunity. Go get it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what's crazy? When you look at like your body of work, all the players that you have, say, from your coaching carousel, so to speak, in the NFL, but then all the players that you have are coaches too. So you're touching a lot of lives. You have affected a lot of lives and given opportunities not just to play the game, but also to coach the game and continue your legacy. And I think that speaks volumes because everyone that's I ever talked to about you, no one has a bad thing to say. They said, hey, you can't bullshit him. No, that's what they said. He I don't care where you came from. You're not going to get that over on him. You know what I mean? He's already 2 steps ahead of you. They always say about you and Parcells. There's like, man, you can't bullshit those guys. They done heard every story. You know what I mean? So, are you just as proud of the coaching carousel that you have in the league now as you are the players?
Yeah, totally. And the guys that are coaching high school ball. I got so many guys from Temple coaching high school ball, and I'll get a text, hey, Coach, I used that speech you used at Boston College. I said, damn, I can't remember that thing. And, cool. We were talking the other day, Kevin Ross, we're getting ready to play Penn State, and he went on the kickoff team. I said, hey, Kevin, you're going to be the arrow. We're going to score. You're going to go down, you're going to blow that sumbitch up and make him fumble. And we're going to get the ball. Lo and behold, we go down, we kick a field goal. Kevin Ross goes down. He hits Rocky Washington so hard he breaks his leg in half. Ball comes out, and we get the ball. We end up losing by, I think, 3 or 4, but it was like, from then on, everybody thought I was clairvoyant.
He thought he was smart.
The guys love using those speeches, as tight as a fist. That's Temple, baby.
That's Temple.
They ain't pointing no fingers in any direction. We just tight as a fist and stay that way come hell or high water.
And because don't you think that's the way we grew up, though? You know what I mean? You can do anything if you're together. You know what I mean? All the bad teams I played on, and I played on a lot of them, but they had, the same common things. Excuses, somebody else's fault, worrying about stuff that has zero effect to do with what we're trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? And the good ones, they just paid attention to detail. Like Bruce Bochy, like I said, Boch, hey, when the game starts, you know what I expect, and play hard. And, he let us police the locker room, and, there wasn't a whole lot of, your socks have to be this way. You can't have your glasses like this and your shirt play baseball, man. Go out there and just, just play.
Yeah, you're on the team. The guys have an agenda. All right, and the locker room they have to parole that. They got to police that themselves. All right, and take care of the guys that think they have an agenda. All right, because when a coach brings it up, it doesn't go over as good as when the guy sitting next to you in the locker room says, hey, man, you need to get with us. All right, you can't be out there for yourself anymore. And we've had a couple of those instances here, and the guys came around, man, and that's what put us in the Super Bowl.
That's wonderful. Well, you know, Coach is the epitome of our slogan. You know, our slogan is breaking chains and building dreams. And one thing I can say about you as a coach in college and in the NFL, you have broken chains and you have built a lot of dreams. And I want to say I really appreciate you breaking chains and building dreams for a lot of guys like myself from the inner cities, like guys like Greg Vaughn and myself. You know, that just gets the opportunity to get away and break that chain. And guys like you give us the chance to have that dream. So I would like to say from James Harris and Greg Vaughn, thank you for being the guy that broke chains and built dreams for a lot of men like myself.
Well, for me, James, things like this, talking to one of my former guys, that's what it's all about for me. You know, I go back to Temple. I went back a couple years ago, and that's 50 or 60 guys out there. You know, it was awesome. And you know, same thing when we won the Super Bowl. I got texts from guys I coached in '79 at Mississippi State and '81 Alabama. You know, it's those relationships is what this business is all about. Sports is about relationships, and I don't care when we get in that locker room is a safe haven, and it's starting to creep in now. But politics, religion, and shit's creeping into the locker room now, and it doesn't. There's no business there, you know. When you go walk in that locker room, that's hey, we're team. I don't care where you came from, what you look like, what color you are. We're team, all right. And we take care of each other. We got each other's back. And I think some of that's leaving now, and that scares me.
Yeah, we were talking about the analytics and different things. But not to take up too much of your time, Coach. I know, I hate to say it, you know, you coming from the Cardinals. I mean, I'm a 49er fan. I'm a Northern California kid. Yeah, Super Bowl prediction, what do you think? What do you think?
I ain't won a game yet. I've lost every one of the I cost one of the caddies at OM so much money because I said, man, Dallas going to kill Green Bay. He bet the ranch. But I just know this. Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. I mean, we chased him all over that field, and he still made some throws that were ungodly. If they hit him in the face mask, or the game would have went around a different way maybe. I would never bet against him. The Niners are a more talented team. I hope their defense has got some new wrinkles to show Pat. Because if he knows what they're doing, baby, it's over.
Because it looked like they line up in the same defense. And if you line up in that same defense with Pat Mahomes, he's going to find them holes. And that's what makes him great.
That pass rush better be killing them. But I don't see that happening. Them two tackles playing pretty good.
Yeah, why are you looking at me like that, man? He gave me 10 points last week, Coach.
I ain't giving him nothing this week, Coach. Hey, Coach, my prediction, Kansas City, 23-20.
That's a good one, baby. That's a good one.
That's a good one, baby.
You know, another thing,
Bubba?
I like the experienced kicker, not the rookie kicker.
Oh, Coach, me too. Third round pick. Come on, Coach. You know what I mean? What?
Yeah, that rookie kicker cost us in Arizona one year. And we had a heck of a football team. We lost some games right at the end. He's a heck of a kicker now, but he had a good career. But when he was young, those big ones, man, they cost us.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like taking the kicker in the third round. You know, like I was in the draft room with him. But Robbie Gold was gold. You know what I mean? Just keep it moving. Coach, one last question for me. Out of, because someone asked me this before. All your years in football, who was the most gifted or the best player you ever seen, put on a uniform? Not say, just in your eyes, no disrespect to anyone else, but just your opinion.
Not playing for you, just around the league, right?
Anywhere, high school, I don't care.
For me in college, it was Paul Palmer. And for his size to lead the nation in rushing, and we played the best defenses in the country. We went up Penn State, Boston College, and Brigham Young. They were 1, 2, and 3 that year. And he led the nation in rushing. Pitt was always good on defense. But in the pros, man, I've been so blessed to have Manning, Brady, Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer, Andrew Luck, Timmy Couch. I've been so blessed. I'd have to go with one of the quarterbacks. And if I took one of them, they'd all be pissed off.
Yeah, well, Life After Sports has brought me and James together. You know what I mean? It's a platform for people to tell their stories because it's important, for us to touch lives like so many lives that you have touched. You know what I mean? And James is an author now, and he has a book and he has a book out. I mean, did you ever think of James, 6'8" quarterback?
Hey, Coach, I've almost accomplished everything that I set out to do. I wanted to be a professional football player. I accomplished it. I wanted to write a book and be a best-selling author. I have accomplished it. I wanted to be a script writer. I've accomplished it. Only thing I haven't done is turned that script into a movie, and that's coming very, very soon. And now my really good friend here has given me a platform and a way to be able to talk to people, find out about people's lives after their sports, after their careers, and then Life After Sports have brought me back. You know what I mean? Because I had found myself just laying dormant, playing, I made my money. I was playing a lot of golf. But once I took off with my book, the book took off, and then I had already wrote the script, and now the script is taking off, and now Life After Sports is really doing well with my good friend Greg, man. And I want to tell him right here on air, man, I thank you for bringing me along with you with this Life After Sports, because this is going to be a good show, because we are the only people that's talking about people about their lives after their careers, because people like to talk about your career. I want to know what you're doing after your career, and that's what Life After Sports is.
There's so much more life after.
Yes, it
that
is.
we have to live and enjoy. And man, family's got to be a big, huge part of that. And man, I'm so proud of what you're doing and what you've done.
Thank you.
I can't even put it into words, man. Way back in, 84, 85.
Yes, sir.
That's there.
Hey, I remember Miss Johnson told me, it's this white guy on our street looking for you. Is he the police? And Spencer Prescott said, no, we want to give him a scholarship. They said, no, well, that's them down there playing basketball. Hey, Coach, man, I want to say thank you for coming here and giving me and Greg the opportunity to interview you. And
my pleasure, brother. Makes me very, 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 very proud.
My pleasure to meet you, Coach. I mean, you know what I mean? You bring me back to my childhood, because there are men just like you that affected my life and touched my life. And I think you have more of an effect on James than you think, because now that we started this podcast, I'm getting text messages at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what's 4 o'clock?
Hey, I'm up. Hey, Coach, I'm up thinking, see, they got my juices going.
You ain't 10 minutes early. You're late, baby.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, what you used to always tell us then, right? Hey, you have to be 10 minutes early.
And the man in the glass.
I never forgot that. Never.
Sure.
And so you're going to always get that 4 o'clock, because, see, my wife said, oh, you ain't doing nothing but playing golf. But now I'm up, I'm running, I'm grooving. Now she like, would you go to bed? No, my juice is running. I got my partner over here, man. We got to be successful with this. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, Coach, thank you, man.
You got it, man. Thank you, guys.
Much
Appreciate
love
it.
to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Peace.
Thank you.
Out.